Hi guys, and welcome to 123 MyIT's video on how to modify the BIOS on the Sapphire RX 570 4GB with Elpida memory. Okay guys, so you've done all the hard work, you've built the rig, and now it's time to modify the BIOS on your graphics card. So why would you modify the BIOS on your graphics cards? Well, it's basically to improve the hash rate. Now the hash rate is the speed at which it does its calculations, and the faster the hash rate, the more money it can generate. So it's something you really want to pay attention to. Especially when selecting the cards, you need to select the cards that are going to give you the best hash rate for the coin that you're mining. So if we have a look at these sapphires here, you can see there is actually a BIOS switch on the side of the sapphires. Now this allows you to have dual BIOS, which means that you've got a backup BIOS if anything does go wrong. So that's pretty cool. If you're mining or if you're modifying the BIOS, that will at least give you a way out if you do something drastic. Okay guys, so to modify the actual BIOS, there's a few tools that you're going to need, and I've got them lined up here. And you can actually get all of these tools from my website. So if you go across to the 123myit.com website, and if you click on downloads, and if you scroll down to where it says BIOS mod tools, and it gives you a list of all the downloads that you'll need to go ahead and do a BIOS modification. So that's 123myit.com, and then click on the downloads link at the top of the page there. Okay guys, so the first thing you're going to need to do is find out what type of memory you have on your card. Now these steps for modifying BIOS will work with any ATI cards. There's nothing special. Okay, the only difference is you need to know what type of memory on your card you have, and you also need to have the correct BIOS for your card. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is download this tool, Tech Power Up GPU-Z, and you can get the link on the 123myit.com website under downloads. So if you run it, download and run the tool. Alright, and you can see it's opened up here, and it's on my AMD card. You can see down the bottom we've got two cards on this computer. We've got a GTX 1070 and an RX 570, and you can see here the RX 570 memory type is Elpida. Okay, and just to show you what the 1070 has, alright, you can see the memory type is a micron for that 1070, and we'll close that off. So once you know what type of memory you have, then you can try and find a BIOS that will fit your card. Okay, so where do you find the BIOSes? I got this BIOS off a website called Anorak Tech. Okay, and I've also added a link for that on the 123myit.com/downloads section under the Mod Bios tools. And so you can go ahead and look for a particular BIOS for your card, or if you want to, if you've got the same card, the Sapphire RX 570 4GB with Elpida, then you can go ahead and download the BIOS from the download section. Okay guys, so another thing to mention is that these BIOSes actually do come in different sizes. So if you right click on it, go down to properties, okay, you see this is a 512 kilobyte size BIOS. If we were to go into here and we were to look at some of these other BIOSes that we have here, let's say Rev 2, it's also 512. This one here, it's 256. Okay, so some BIOSes will be different sizes, therefore you won't be able to flash some cards because the BIOS is not big enough. Okay, I can show you how to get around that, and you'll need this tool here. It's called Polaris. Polaris allows you to do live editing on the BIOS, so you can open it up, and the Polaris editor will show you the BIOS settings for your card that you can change, and you can go in and change all of these. There's timing straps and everything along here which you can also change. Okay, so what this allows you to do is change all the settings on your card with a particular BIOS, and it doesn't matter what size the BIOS is. You can just download your current BIOS from your graphics card and then edit it through here. Okay, so that's another tool that allows you to edit the BIOS. So let's say you've got your BIOS going and you just want to do a flash. Let's go ahead and we will need this ATI flash tool. Just a quick disclaimer, guys, if you try this, you do it at your own risk. I accept no responsibility for any of your graphics cards breaking or anything like that. You need to do your own research, and you need to know what you're doing before you try and modify your cards. Okay, now that that's out of the road, let's continue with the video. We're going to go in and we're going to run as administrator on the WinFlash utility. So right click, run as administrator. You can see it's picked up our Radeon series card. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go ahead and load the image, and it's going to be the RX 570 image here. Okay, so we've got that one here, and then what we do is we just hit program, and then that will go ahead and it will flash your BIOS with the latest part. Now the only thing here you need to be aware of is to make sure that you're flashing the right card. I would suggest that you remove all other cards from your system and then flash them one at a time, and then that way you can't really flash the wrong card. Now if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to grab the BIOS off your card, it's pretty straightforward. It's a very similar way of doing it. Run as administrator again, go yes. Alright, now I want to save this current BIOS off there. I'm going to go save. I'm going to put it on my desktop, and I'm going to call it just bios.rom, and I'm going to hit save there. Alright, and as you can see, it saved a copy of my bios.rom to my desktop. Now if I wanted to modify this with some settings that I had, I could use the Polaris again. Alright, and then I go open, go to my desktop, click on the BIOS ROM, bang, it's got all the settings of my BIOS, and I could edit. If I wanted the draw power on the watts to be lower, I could make it, 95, something like that, and do it that way. So that's pretty much it. Once you change your BIOS over, you will have to then run this ATI package. Okay, what this does is, if you check your device manager and you've got under your display adapters, if you have a yellow exclamation mark against your Radeon graphics card, then you need to run this patcher. Okay, so patcher just runs, and it will find the driver, and it will patch your driver so that then it will detect your graphics card properly, and then you can go ahead and start with your mining. The last thing I want to show you guys is if you want to flash your BIOS via command, there is a command that you can actually use, but you also have to then get to your location of your ATI flash utility, and then you would use this ATI flash program here. So what we do is we want to open up a command prompt, okay, or a DOS prompt. And you can do that by going down to start, CMD, right click on the command prompt and run as administrator. You just want to go yes. Okay, and then what you're going to need to do is go cd ... and then cd ... again. Alright, and then that will get you to your C drive. Then you need to put in the location of your ATI flash folder. So let's look it up. So it's under the user, and then desktop location. So we're going to go CD, right click and paste that in. Alright, that gets us to the desktop. Then we go CD ATI flash _ 277, and that'll put us in this directory. So we are now in this directory here, and then we're going to use this command, copy. Let's copy it again, copy. Alright, hit enter. Alright, it can't see the bios.rom, so it's saying there's no bios.rom file under here, so we're going to copy it under there now, and we're going to do it again. Alright, then it's going to go through and it's going to copy over our BIOS. You can see here it's putting the new one and the old one on. Alright, you've got restart system to complete, so you'll need to restart it. And at this stage you might just want to also, after you do a restart, check your device manager. Okay, like I said before, make sure your radon card doesn't have the exclamation mark. If it does have the exclamation mark, run your ATI package patcher again and you should be good to go. And that's pretty much all it is, guys. It's pretty straightforward. Once you do it a few times, you become pretty competent at it. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it from me. If this was a helpful video, as always, leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.